we've got an interesting couple months ahead of us. Let me set this down because I have a lot to talk about, a lot to plan with you guys, and a lot to think about. What's up, guys? I'm getting ready to do a bulk for the summer, but in this video I'm going to be getting my weight, my measurements, maybe showing you guys some of the food I make because I'm going to be going grocery shopping. This video was strategically placed in my week. I moved my split around a little bit, but I made sure my food was out, so I had to do a full grocery run, and I made sure I ordered a scale, and I'm ready to take everything, jot it down, and get started with this bulk for the summer. Okay. If you follow me on any other platform, you know that I'm planning on bulking. Let me tell you why I'm deciding to do this. For the longest time, first of all, I'm planning on bulking, but I'm planning on bulking and prioritizing glute gains. I want to see how much mass I can gain on my lower body. That's like the ultimate goal for me within these few months. The reason I'm deciding to do this, one, because I want a fat ass, but two, my plans have always been glute focused. I've always been training legs 2 to 3 times per week. But I have this theory, I guess I'm just going to experiment with it now, that I feel like in order to disproportionately gain mass on one region of your body, you have to sort of disproportionately train it. So I always made sure to heavily train upper body too. I had chest and tries day, back and bi, my shoulders were on a separate day because I loved it so much. But now for a few months, I'm just going to sort of squeeze those days together into one upper body day and just prioritize glute gains. And the reason I'm really excited about this, you guys, is because for the longest time, a lot of you know that I started off really skinny. So my entire progress has been gaining mass. My upper body was really weak when I first started lifting. And to me, that was not something that I liked at all. And that's what sort of made me heavily obsessed with upper body strength. I love training upper body. I love getting stronger in upper body, which isn't a negative thing at all. It makes me so proud that I've built so much strength in my upper body. But there was always this weird, how do I explain it? This weird obsession that derived from the fact that I was really skinny and really weak, that I was obsessed with always being strong in my upper body. My legs always had a decent amount of strength, so it was whatever, I didn't really care. But every time I fall off and I want to do this thing where I do glutes only basically for a few months, I always find my way back to a normal split because I'm just what if I lose my upper body strength? I don't want to be quote unquote weak. I don't want to go back to what I was before. Stupid mindset. Doing this and posting this on YouTube is going to make sure that I stay on this plan and just keep me from doing that over and over again. It's this endless cycle. Honestly, I'm so proud of the progress I made in my upper body, my lower body. So every time I think thoughts like that, I just sort of check myself. It's not that big of a deal if I lose a little bit of my strength in my upper body. And I've come a long way, when it comes to how I view myself and things like that. But I've got to stop thinking it's so easy to snap back to what I was before. And I've had that mindset for a while. And this is, I think, my last step to fully fixing that. And of course, I want a fat ass. Another thing is there's an irony in a summer bulk, right? And I think that's a really cool title for this. That's what I'm going to be calling it. Because obviously, it's normal to shred for summer, to lean down for summer. And believe me, I totally understand that, right? And when I thought of doing this, I didn't even consider that. I just knew that this is what I wanted to do with my body, and this is what was going to make me the happiest, and this is a new goal that I had, and I just went for it. And to me, that's crazy, because years ago, I would never be okay with putting on mass right before summer. So I'm ecstatic about the fact that I came this way, and I'm ready and willing to do whatever I want to do. And I'm ready and willing to accept my body in any way that it looks. If I want to put on some size, I'm going to put on some size. If I'm losing some weight, I'm losing some weight, and I'm embracing it, whether it happened intentionally or it happened by accident, and that's big progress for me. And I am always a fan of celebrating the small steps and the small victories. And even though this isn't a big one, it feels like a big one to me. But I do want to mention that even though I say I've come a long way, and I think this is really important and not enough people talk about this. So even though I know that I've come a long way and I'm really comfortable in the fact that I'm going to gain weight right before summer, and it's not going to stop me from going to the beach, it's not going to stop me from going to pools or anything like that. But even though I'm excited about that, and I know that I've come a long way, and before I would never even consider doing this, I want you guys to understand that growth isn't always black or white. So it's not before I used to be scared about putting weight on for the summer, and now I'm not scared at all. even though I've come a long way, there's thoughts that set me back every now and then, and I don't think enough people talk about this. Like, for example, a few nights ago, I was sitting there and I was like, well, this is so silly, but I'm just sharing it with you guys so you understand, like, that growth doesn't mean you never have these thoughts. It means you challenge them and you work on improvement. The other night I was laying there, and it's so silly, but I was thinking, okay, what if people follow me and they love me because of my physique? And when my physique changes, I'm no longer of value to them. And that's what was hesitating me from doing that, and just checked it immediately. But I want you guys to know that there's thoughts like that cross my mind. So even though I'm like, yeah, I'm excited for the weight gain in summer, it doesn't mean like just because I came a long way from where I was before that I never have thoughts like that. I never get scared of gaining weight in the summer. I never get scared of how my physique looks. I have those, and I think that's a part of growth, and that's a part of being human. You're never gonna have 100% positive thoughts, but I had that, and I checked it, and it's like I have other things to offer people. And honestly, why does that matter? Why do I want people to follow me who only care about the way I look? I feel like I have a lot more to offer than that. The same way I feel like my body has a lot more to offer to me than just size, so I shouldn't worry about how big it is or how small it is. You know what I mean? Let's talk about how I'm gonna do this bulk. So at the same time, so I'm bulking, and my goal for this bulk is to have a really lean and slow bulk. So with that, I mean I'm going to try to control my body composition, my body fat percentage. I don't want to eat too high of a surplus, because when that happens, I feel like you gain weight way too quickly, and you don't really have control of how that weight sits on your body. So I'm gonna try to do it a lot slower, over a longer period of time, so that way I can control my body composition, because my goal is to keep my ratios maybe and just increase size. If I can make my ratios a little bit better, that'd be awesome. But I'm gonna try to gain as little size as I can in my waist and try to bring most of the mass to my lower body. I'm gonna be doing this entire process without tracking food. So the way I'm gonna be tracking my progress is by stepping on a scale daily in the morning, and then making sure that I'm on the right path to gaining, like, slowly, weekly or bi-weekly, and that's the way I'm gonna do it. If I gain too much, I'm gonna take a note of that and maybe eat a little bit less. If I gain too slow, I'm gonna eat a little bit more. I'm just gonna do it by trial and error, and you guys are gonna follow the entire way with me. So bear with me if, like, I don't know, the first 2 weeks I'm failing. It's gonna be a process, and I've never really done this before. Look, I've had massive glute gains, especially as a girl who's quad dominant and super skinny. I gained a lot of size on my glutes, but I never did it strictly. I never had a fully glute focused guide in terms of like what I'm gonna be doing right now. I never weighed myself and I was like, hey, I have this weight goal, but this time I'm stepping on a scale, setting goals, and doing it with checkpoints. And I've never done that before, so I feel like this is what's gonna guarantee my progress and make it different from everything else I've ever done before. By the way, this process is entirely inspired by Christian Guzman. Shout out to Deadeye. He showed me Christian Guzman's series on YouTube for, I think he has a book series and a shred series. Super motivating, and I was like, what better way than to do what I've always wanted to do than bring you guys along with it. So entirely inspired by Christian Guzman. I'm so excited to get this going. I had this scale come in from Amazon. Okay. It's been a really long time since I weighed myself. Maybe I should take these sweatpants off. Probably adding, you know? Wow, that's crazy. Hold on, let me put the camera on so you guys can see it. Let me put some socks on. I changed out my sweats so I can take better measurements because I'm about to go into that, but I wanted to talk about my weight. COVID, I stopped exercising and I stopped eating enough, and that was the biggest setback I had since I was 15 years old, or like 16 years old since I started lifting. 15 is a little iffy, but 16 definitely. I lose weight very quickly, and I was just going through a really rough patch. I didn't know that I lost like that much, because going into COVID, I weighed 120 pounds, and what was that, like 108? That's a 12-pound difference. On the positive side, I know that I can bring it back. I'm doing it backwards. I'm gonna take measurements of my waist and my glutes because they're literally one of the only two things that concern me. And we'll keep these updates and measurements consistently in the same spot. Here's what we have for the waist. 24. I'm just trying to make sure it's tight. For the glutes, we have a little bit above a 36. So this is the physique checkpoint for episode 1. What is my main goal, like I stated earlier, is to gain as many inches on my glutes and as little on my waist as I can. So we're going to do a really slow bulk. I also want to say, for losing that much weight, it's low-key crazy that my glutes are still 36 inches. Maybe this is just a sign that like my bulk is going to be really good. If I held on to the size in my glutes while I lost a lot of weight, my waist has always, honestly, that's one thing, my waist has always been a lot smaller than my hips, so that ratio has always been there, but 24 is definitely the smallest it's ever been. Another thing is I gain easily on my quads. The minute I eat and I eat and I eat and I eat, it's like my body's like, oh, yep, send it to the quads. It's so hard for me to gain anywhere else besides my quads on my legs, even though I've made it a long way. If I'm feeling exercise too much on my quads, I'm probably going to leave it out. Let's go ahead and talk about my split and how I'm planning on going through this entire bulk. I'm going to put the split up here on the screen. Monday is going to be list cardio and back. For list cardio, I'm going to do 30 to 40 minutes on the treadmill, like at a steady pace, non-stop. Tuesday, I'm going to do legs. Wednesday, I'm going to do upper body. Thursday, I'm going to do legs. Thursday, I'm going to do legs. Friday is my HIIT cardio and abs day. By HIIT cardio, I'm going to be doing sprints. I usually go 20 seconds on, 40 seconds off for 12 to 15 times. Saturday is going to be rest. You guys know that I haven't had a rest day in like forever. I usually just go to the gym every day. Sunday is going to be legs, but I'm going to be squatting on Sundays. So while I'm trying to maximize my glute gains, I'm going to keep squats, like leg presses and things like that at a minimum. But I still really enjoy squats, so I'm going to squat once per week, and that's going to be on my Sundays. It's not that I'm only going to be doing squats, but I want to emphasize that on my Sundays is when I'm going to be doing my squats. Another thing, I don't know if I have PTSD just from being on TikTok. I don't know if they do this on every other platform, but on TikTok, there's a lot of people who critique everything that you post. If I post a chest workout, someone will stitch it and just be like, that's not the most effective way of doing a chest exercise. Instead, you could have done this exercise. So I'm prefacing this with, I do not think this split is the most effective way for a glute focus plan, and I'll tell you why. I have 2 cardio days. As someone who struggles to put on size and like loses weight quickly, it would make sense for me to keep cardio at a minimum, but that's just something that I'm not going to do. So while this is not the most efficient, it's the most appealing to me, and that indirectly makes it the most efficient. And let me like sort of explain myself. So even if 20 years down the line we hear that, hey, the best way of training and gaining muscle size is by doing 4 sets of 15 reps every exercise every day, right? If you do not enjoy doing 4 sets of 15 reps and you prefer training for strength, 4 sets of 6 reps, that's going to be a better plan for you. Because if you tried 4 sets of 15 reps, you would probably stop going as often. You would probably not be as consistent. And the number one thing to results is consistency. So I always recommend a plan that tailors to you, because the more you go in there, the better results you see. So if you're doing something you don't enjoy, you're going to stop showing up. And for me, you guys specifically, even though fitness is probably one of the biggest things in my life, weightlifting is like a huge passion of mine, and it's done a lot for me. There's also, surprise, there's also other things that I enjoy. And keeping cardio in there is sort of appealing for me. Like, I don't know how to explain it. I like love playing sports. I love going on runs outside sometimes, especially if it's like a really scenic view. So and I'm really competitive, so I want to be able to put up in those situations as well. Like, I want to be able to go to the beach with my friends and play sports for hours on hours without getting too exhausted because I never train. And the number one thing for me, and why I will always include cardio, is because, and even though it sounds counterintuitive, it's because I love weightlifting so much. So I love this stuff so much, I want to do it for the rest of my life. So I want to make sure that my heart's good. Like, I want to make sure that I'm training my heart just as much as I'm training my muscles, because if that thing gives up on me, then that means I'm out of the gym. And I don't want that. So even though it's harder with those extra cardio days, that's probably going to mean that I'm going to need to eat more, and I already struggle with eating too much. I'm going to do it. I refuse to give so much love to my muscles and not give my heart the same attention. To me, it's really important, and I'm going to keep doing it. I'm a big fan of balance, and I think too much of anything is not good for you. Maybe it's because I've seen that before in my past. So while I'm young and I have all this energy and all this passion for weightlifting, I'm gonna just throw my eggs in a bunch of baskets. Lastly, what I want to talk about, there's a lot of people who sort of hate the idea of training for aesthetics. They say it's not a good mindset. It's really unhealthy to train just because you want to look a certain way or because you're unhappy with the way that you look. And I want to say I agree, but I disagree. I agree that it is really unhealthy to train for aesthetics if you are not in a good place with yourself and with food. When I first started off weightlifting, I started off weightlifting because I hated the way that I looked. And that put me on this spiral of like issues like undereating, overeating, restrictive eating, like a bunch of things. And once I acknowledged it, I put that aside and I was like, all right, like I'm gonna fix this because I realized how much I love weightlifting. And when I started training to lift and I started repairing my relationship with food, I've reached this point now where I can 100% confidently say that my relationship with food is better and that relationship with myself is better. It can always be better, but it's come such a long way. So my take on that is, if you are in a good place with yourself, you can absolutely train for aesthetics because it's no different than training for strength. You're not belittling yourself. It's just the goal that you want to reach. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to say, be in the right place before you do it. And you know whether or not you're in the right place or not. It's super easy to tell. It's super easy to recognize whether or not you're being anxious about the way, if you're being overly anxious about the way that you look, if you're being overly anxious about the foods that you eat. If you are, take a step back and work on building that relationship first, and then you can train for the aesthetics that you want, because it's really not worth it. Just because you take that step back and you start working on your relationship with yourself while you lift and leave the aesthetic goals for later, doesn't mean you won't start slowly inching your way towards those aesthetics that you want. Like, while I was building my relationship with food and myself, I slowly entered the best shape of my life. So there's definitely a beauty in that, because the minute you start working on that is the minute you start really like having a passion for lifting. And it's not because I hate myself, it's because I love myself, or it's because I'm working on loving myself. And that changes your entire ambition. Everything just falls into place the minute you start doing it for you and not against you. And I was in that place, I'm no longer in that place, and this to me is one of the coolest goals I've ever set out for, because I've had a hard time sticking to a strict plan, but I'm here with you guys. You guys are going to hold me accountable. I'm going to be posting a video a week. The plan for this is one video a week and bi-weekly, so every other video I will be taking my measurements again. So the measurements won't be every video. So I weighed in at 108.4 pounds. Considering the fact that I entered COVID at 120 pounds, I think even 115 would be really solid. 8 pounds on a 5-foot body is a huge difference, especially if I can really control that weight. So I'm 108, right? And I'm gonna shoot for 115 as my weight goal. My measurement for my waist was 24 inches and for my glutes was 36 inches. Now, I'm shooting for the stars here. We're gonna put absurd numbers, but let's just jot them down. Let's just get it in my head and let's see if I can do it. I'm gonna shoot for 40-inch glutes, and let's give 26 waist. I didn't even measure my quads. Let me just get my quads. Let's do this. I have 21-inch quads. Just keeping that in mind, I just wanted to get that measurement down. I don't have any goals for the quads, but let's see what happens to them. Let's see if they gain, if they don't. I'm gonna get ready, change, go lift, and then I'm gonna go grocery shopping. Since I'm focusing on trying to keep my waist as small as possible, I'm gonna put active effort into doing vacuums every morning. So on an empty stomach, I'm gonna do some vacuums. I'll show you guys what that is right now. You're gonna blow all your air out, suck your stomach in as soon as all the air is out, and you're gonna try to pull your belly button to your spine. Honestly, I haven't done these in so long that they're so hard. I'm gonna do it two more times, and I'll see you guys at the gym.
Sometimes and I can't seem to find a light between the walls I built for myself right in my mind. And then you came over and you showed me love that I never had seen before. And now, when I got you, it's all gonna be alright. Thinking about all the things we did tonight. What a time to be alive. Just you and I. Just you and I. Only you can put my fire out. You can turn it all around. You can lift me off the ground so we can fly again. 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 I've been trying hard not to go out of my mind. And all I need right now is for you to stay the night. But if you keep saying that you've got to leave, then I'm gonna be alright. As long as you tell me that we ain't running out of time. Thinking about all the things we did tonight. What a time to be alive. Just you and I. Just you and I. Only you can put my fire out. You can turn it all around. And you can lift me off the ground so we can fly again. 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 So we can fly again.
I just got home. I usually just drink my protein shake right away and then I go shower and then I have a meal afterwards. I'm sort of really hungry, so I'm gonna mix my protein shake in with my cereal, eat that, go shower, and then come back and eat a meal. I have some chicken and rice left over from yesterday, which is my last thing, and then after that I'm gonna go and buy groceries and make my like meat and carbs in bulk so I can have that for at least like a few days. This is definitely a meal that I would add avocado to, but I'm literally out of avocado. I just can't wait to go grocery shopping because there's so much I need to buy. I was thinking about something at the gym. It had to do with the fact that I weigh 108 pounds. So I weigh significantly less than I used to. And I remember while I was trying to, I don't know if any of you were following along with that journey, but I was trying to like recover my strength for some of my lifts. Like I was trying to get to like a 35-pound shoulder press for like eight reps and like different things. Like I was trying to go for a 135 squat for like 4 sets of 12 and things like that. And even though I recovered, it was very difficult. Like every time I went through those sets, it was nearly impossible. The only reason I think I would get them done is because like I wanted it so bad, but I could tell that there was such a difference between me doing it now and me doing it back then. And I kept thinking like, well, what's wrong? Because it's been like a couple months. How come I haven't fully recovered, you know? And it's because I weigh less. Like that's gonna make it so much more difficult. So I'm like really proud of the fact that I hit those numbers again, weighing like 12 pounds lighter while being 12 pounds lighter. So I'm like really looking forward to this bulk because I know that I'll get back to the lifts I had before, probably more, considering the fact that I'm able to hit those now even though I'm 12 pounds lighter. So what I'm thinking happened is like, since I was eating so little for a period of time, I think my calories got so low that when I started going back to the gym and I started eating, that increase in calories didn't make me gain weight. It's sort of the way reverse dieting works. Like if your calories are so low, when you increase them, it's not like you're going above your maintenance level. Your body is finally getting the calories it needs and you don't really gain weight. Your body composition just changes and your body starts like utilizing the calories you're giving it. And that's why I had such a huge change in like leanness, but I didn't gain the weight back. So now this is the time for me to do all of that. I'm getting ready to head to the grocery store. I'm wearing my I don't want to be talked to outfit. I have yet to remain unbothered at this grocery store, so we're taking a new approach. I haven't worn this sweater in like ages. This is my high school volleyball sweater. I was benched like the entire season. I'm not even gonna take you guys into the grocery store with me, but I thought I'd take you guys like on the trip at least, you know, so I'm not alone. The worst part about this outfit right now is that it's like hot outside, so I look like a psychopath. But even better, you know? This tripod was low-key the best thing I've ever done for myself because I get to like drive and talk to you guys at the same time. I'm just gonna go 20 miles per hour because my conversation with you probably matters a little bit more than the speed limit. But what I was saying is like I haven't been able to go to this grocery store without like just being annoyed, like whether it was someone making me feel comfortable, like someone having a conversation with me like 4 hours. Here's the thing, like even when like, so I can't really complain about someone just having a conversation with me. I just don't want to be bothered. Like I don't want to be asked for my number like while I'm just looking for celery. Yeah, so I decided today that I've had enough. Today is a big grocery day, big grocery day. I also like have seen a lot of oat TikToks. So your girl has some shit on her list to make oats with. Never protein oats though, dude. Like never protein oats. I don't know when as a community we're gonna stop lying about protein oats tasting good, but we're a long way from then because people constantly talk about it. That it's just never happening. There is no right. You know what pisses me off, dude? That like every time I see these like, I don't like the way protein powder tastes. I'm never gonna like the way protein powder tastes. At most it tastes the best when it is in a drink form and I'm taking it, and even then I had to like experiment with a bunch of flavors, and I finally ended up finding some that I like, you know. But there's people who like protein shakes. I'm not one of them. But I don't think they're terrible, disgusting. But they are disgusting and everything else. So every time I'm on TikTok and people are like, try this low calorie Frosty, and it's like protein powder. That tastes so nasty. There's no way in hell people actually enjoy that stuff. You can't convince me. Even if you guys comment on this video and say that you like protein powder, I'm just gonna go ahead and assume you're lying. Even though I'm not gonna take you guys in, it was so worth bringing you guys along with. I don't regret a second of it. I'm almost positive that's that guy from 90 Day Fiancé. No way. I'm gonna take off all my clothes. I'm literally so hot right now. And then I'm gonna organize everything into my fridge and show you guys what I got. Before I organize everything into my refrigerator, I bought some stuff because of a TikTok video I saw. It's like this sandwich snack, and I know I'm gonna love it, so I'm gonna eat that because I'm literally starving. So I'm gonna eat that, organize everything, and then make my breakfast, which is gonna be the anabolic like French toast. I've seen it everywhere. It's just too much to not give in. I have to see what that tastes like because I like French toast. I like cinnamon, so if it's as good as people are saying it is, plus all those egg whites for protein, I'm sold. This is the bread that I'm going to be using. This is what I'm using instead of peanut butter. It's not that I always use this. It's just that I eat a shit ton of peanut butter anyway throughout my day. So I was like, if I'm going to make the snack, I'm at least going to make it with this. This is the PB2. If you don't know what this is, you're missing out. So your regular peanut butter is going to have like high fats. This has 1 gram of fat, 4 grams of carb, and 6 grams of protein. I don't really taste anything. That's weird. Hold on. I don't really taste anything. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. TikTok is such a scam. A box of eggs. I got this new version of Dave's bread. What's interesting is like it doesn't have any like sugar in it for sweeteners, which even Dave's bread usually has. This uses fruit juices instead. If you look at the ingredients list, it's sort of cool. I got this to try the French toast thing out because it's 45 calories, and I've used bread for other things, so I didn't really want to waste a shit ton of calories on just French toast. But I also bought these. I've seen a ton of people talk about English muffins, and I got these just to test it out. I think this would be perfect for my breakfast in the morning with eggs. I have so much oat milk. I have this, And I have this. I got this because I'm gonna start drinking more protein shakes with milk, making little adjustments like that for my bulk so I can up my calories. I got 0% Greek yogurt in the back because it's a lifesaver. I use that with pasta. I use that almost nightly with like just berries, and you get like 20 grams of protein in it. Look, 3/4 cup has 18, and I put about a cup, so maybe like 20 grams. It's so amazing. 0% fat, so it tastes bad on its own. I know a lot of people think that. So I put a packet of Splenda in it, life changer. I have some egg whites. Those are just self-explanatory. I have Parmesan cheese. I have 2 boxes of greens. I have baby spinach, and then I have power greens over there, which is just, this is baby spinach only. That's a mix of like kale, spinach, and other things. So I use that for a green smoothie, and then I use this for like salads. So I do sort of drink my greens more than I eat my greens when I'm trying to gain weight, just because like so much voluminous veggies fills me up, and I like can't be full, because if I keep eating like salads and veggies, I get full so fast, and I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission here. This bottom row is full of the fruits. I don't know if I can go back there, but we have blueberries. This is just a package, like, I don't even know what it was, but it was packaged and it tastes so yummy with rice, but it's like carrots and like some kind of red sauce. I've got cuties, I've got grapes, I've got green plums. In the back of this, right behind these, I have things that like, quite literally take forever to expire, so I don't have to look at them all the time to remember to use them. So it's like the onions, the lemon, everything else I keep right in front of me, so that like as soon as I open this fridge, I'm like, maybe I should have a grape, you know? So like this, it doesn't go bad. But fruits is not a problem for me. Like my fruits wipe like this, like so quickly. This drawer is literally full of my greens. This is also what I use to make like my green juice in the mornings. I've got celery, so many cucumbers, parsley, cilantro on the bottom, avocados also go in here, and this drawer has like my apples and mangoes. I feel like it makes more sense to throw my peppers in here, just a little colorful cabinet. And then that's what I have in my fridge. I have these kept out for right now because I'm gonna make some chicken patties with them, and then I'm also gonna make some like Mexican style chicken. I'm literally starving though, so I'm just gonna start making that French toast. I see like 100 videos of this, and then when I need it, I don't see any. But I googled the recipe. I'm looking at Greg's video, but 14 minutes, my guy. Someone make a WikiHow. Oh, he does equal parts sweetener. So if I'm doing 1 cup egg whites, I do one packet of Splenda. Oh my, we have the same packets of Splenda. Me and Greg. The top comment says, me and my girlfriend had these yesterday and I woke up with gyno and she has a beard. It's happening. Yo, if this tastes good, this is such an easy breakfast. This one's falling apart. I think it's ready. It's my first time, but I think it's ready. I'm gonna put it on a plate. Maybe some like macro-friendly ice cream on top. It's ugly. Ugly as hell. So if you guys are gonna judge me on presentation, I'm gonna need you to exit the video right now. Ice cream. It tastes good. It just needs to be sweeter, so maybe I should have added more sweetener and more cinnamon. I'll try this again tomorrow. So I started off at 108.4 pounds. A lot of people bulk at like plus 500 calories a day. If you guys didn't know, there's 3,500 calories in a pound, right? So if you're doing 500 calories a day, in a week, you should have gained a pound. A normal bulk is like a pound a week, and I want to take it slow. I'm going to do a pound every 2 weeks. I'm gaining 2 pounds in a month. If I want to go up to 115, I'm gaining about 8 pounds. It's gonna take me about 4 months. Oh, and there's 4 weeks in a month, so we're gonna have about 16 episodes of this series. To be honest, this bulk is probably gonna be a lot harder because I'm not tracking, because I want to do it slowly. So I think that takes like making sure that I'm not going too much over this and that. But I don't care that I'm probably going to be, it's going to be a rigid bulk. Like I'm probably going to make mistakes. I might gain too fast, or I may not gain at all at some point if I'm trying to be too small of a surplus. I don't care about any of that. To me, I just don't want to go through the process of weighing my food, tracking my calories, this and that. I just don't care enough. And something else that I'm not really considering, and I forgot to mention, is the fact that I am taking creatine. So I cycle creatine, and I just want to preface, you don't have to cycle creatine. There's no studies that recommend cycling creatine. I just cycle it. And this off cycle has been a while. The first time I ever took creatine, I gained some weight. because creatine increases water retention inside your muscle, so it's intracellular. So it's not like you just gain weight, like your muscles get fuller. And I did gain weight. I don't know if it's gonna happen again. So I don't know if that's gonna change like the bulk weight goal, but we'll see. And I love my YouTube family so much. Thank you guys for showing me so much love and giving me so much feedback on my videos. That's the kind of stuff that really, really matters to me. By the way, I like bit my lip super hard. That's what that is. But see you guys next week. Hopefully I put on at least 2 pounds by the end of this month. You'll see me sitting around 110. But until then, I wish all the glute gains on you guys. I hope you guys add inches to your glutes just like I am. We're in this together.